In this video, we're going to learn how to summarize data with the sum and count functions. So here we have a table of data of some employees at a business. We have the name of the employee, the position that they currently hold, what their age is, what their college GPA was, and what their current salary is. So let's look at this salary column here, and let's suppose we want to calculate the sum total of all the salaries for all employees. We can do this with the sum function, which we'll do here in cell I3. We'll start by typing equals sum and then an open parentheses. We'll select all of the information that we want to sum up. And then we'll type a close parentheses and hit enter. It'll calculate the sum total for us. However, you'll notice that it doesn't show the number here properly. That's because the number is too wide for the cell that's displayed. So we can expand that cell a little bit, and now it will show us the number. We'll also expand our label cell and align that to the left and align the number to the right. Now, if one of these salaries changes, say to 38,000, then this sum total will automatically reflect that change. Now, let's suppose we want to count up how many salaries there are in the list. We can do that with the count function. We'll start by typing equals count and then open parenthesis. We'll select the same set of data, type close parenthesis, and hit enter. It looks like there's 15 salaries shown here. If we were to come in and delete one of the salaries, say for Carl here, the formula would recognize that. When we delete it, it would change the sum and it would change the count. There's another count function called the count A function. It works the same way as the count function, except it's used for a different purpose. The count function is used to count numerical data. So we could use a count in the column of salaries. We could also use a count to count up how many GPAs there are, or ages, because these are all numbers. However, when we're talking about cells that have text strings in them, like the names or positions that are not numerical data, then we would need to use the count A function. To show this, I'm going to first try to do a count function without the A. And I'll select all of the names for that function. It's giving me a 0 here because the count function cannot work with text strings. So what I would want to do here is a count A function. I'll type in equals count A and then open parentheses. And then I'll select the range of names, close parentheses, and press enter. Now if we were to do another count A function for the positions, then we would find that there are only 11. This means that there are only 11 of these individuals that have positions, and apparently 4 people do not. This is shown by the difference between 15 and 11. So there's one last function that we can look at called count blank that will actually tell us how many blanks there are in a given list. In this case, it should be the number 4. So I'll start by typing equals count and then choose the count blank option. Select the list of positions, close parenthesis, press enter. It says that there are 4 empty cells, so it's counting up how many blanks there are, whereas count A is counting up how many are not blank or how many have text strings. So these functions are pretty simple, but they're very important for many of the calculations and functions that we'll be learning in the future.